Welcome to Princess Ninja and Keto. My name's Melanie. Welcome to my home in the sunshiny state of Florida. I have a ton of things that I want to talk to you about today. So the beginning of this video might be a little long. However, I don't really have that long to film it. So I'm going to try to stay on track. And if there's something I leave out, I may cover it at the end of this video. But just letting you know, I have a couple of you that have expressed to me that you don't like watching my videos unless they have things to do with keto. There's going to be a lot of personal information in this video. That's your disclaimer. So if you want to bow out, thanks for watching at least the intro. If you want to fast forward and look at the macros and things like that, that's great. But I'm going to be talking a lot about my life and some personal things going on and some decisions that my husband and I have come to. So get ready. All right. First off, this is how my morning started. So this is how my day is starting. I am getting ready for work and noticed something peculiar on my countertop. And there it is. Welcome to Florida. All right, so I'm really not sure how the frog got in the house, but it was in the house. It was very cold. And so I took it outside to warm it up. Frogs, reptiles don't really do well in air-conditioned homes. They need a source of heat and they frequently need humidity. So I think I saved him. I think I got him in quick enough that I could get him outside and he's gonna be okay. I'm just glad that the dogs or the cat didn't find it because they would have eaten it. And there are some toads here in Florida that are really poisonous to dogs. So, all right, moving right along. This is a keto channel, but today I'm talking about my functioning anxiety. I'm talking about my need to grab a hold of, to start a million projects, and I'll finish every one of them. You've seen my backyard. You saw my Poshmark closet. You've seen my eBay store. I start these projects. You see my bracelet making. I grab onto all of these things, thinking that this one thing is going to validate me. This one thing is going to mean that I'm doing something important with my life. This one thing is going to make me an important person and valuable. This one thing that I'm doing because I'm going to be really good at this one thing, and then people will respect and appreciate me, right? I've spent the majority of my life, due to some very sad circumstances, trying to prove myself, trying to prove that I've changed. I used to not be a good person. I used to be a pretty foul person, right? You wouldn't recognize. If I could go grab the 30-year-ago me and put it in front of this camera and do a 30-minute video, you honestly wouldn't recognize that it was me. And I can tell you that Jesus transformed my heart. He convicts my heart when I do things wrong. This does not make me perfect. I do things wrong dozens of times a day. Dozens of times a day I have to say, I'm sorry, God. I'm sorry, God. I'm sorry I felt that way about that situation. I should have showed mercy. I'm sorry that I got angry and I lost my temper. I'm sorry that I felt jealous of that person. I'm sorry that I cursed. You know what I'm saying? And cursing, foul language is like my worst, right? And I work on it every day. But moving on, I when I was younger, had this need. If someone didn't like me, I had to know why they didn't like me. I wasn't just good with, oh, you can't just not like me for whatever reason. I had to find out why, and then I had to try to fix it. And I've chased people that wouldn't give me the time of day, and chasing their love, chasing their approval, chasing their affection. And it took me a very long time to reach a point where I realized that no matter how good I am, it's not about me. No matter how much I change, it's not about me. No matter how many successes and how many things I accomplish in my life, it's not about what I'm doing. This person just doesn't like me. And maybe they're justified. Maybe their personality is just way different than mine. Maybe they're just a jerk, right? Maybe this person is just a jerk. Maybe this person is just so spiteful and so resentful that they can never, ever, ever move past a situation from 30 years ago. Maybe they were so scarred by it. Maybe my actions, being a jerk person, scarred this person so bad. Maybe this person's a really super great person but maybe I hurt their feelings so badly that they can never find it in their heart to forgive me. But so, okay, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. So I've spent most of my life trying to be better, do better, not even because I felt like I deserved it, not even because I loved myself enough to do whatever blank, but because I wanted people to accept me, and I wanted people to love me. I wanted them to like me. I wanted them to appreciate me. I wanted to be able to show my talents in a funny way, to where if I was rejected, I could laugh it off and say, oh, I was just joking, but in a way that I could. This YouTube channel is a perfect example of that. It allows me, I haven't been funny lately, but I've been very sad lately. Anyway, but go to my Snapchat. I have a witty sense of humor. I am very sarcastic. I have a great sense of humor though. And YouTube gave me an outlet where I could express myself. I could be me. And man, I couldn't believe how many people came to my channel and actually wanted to see me every day. People that when I don't post a video, message me and say, hey, you okay today? I didn't see a video up. Are you running behind? Are you putting up a video today? And so YouTube in a way has fulfilled that need to feel loved. And then of course, the closer I move to Jesus, the closer I move to a relationship with him, then the less I feel the need for people to accept me. But to me, it becomes more important for me to accept myself and hope that people can see him in me, right? That's the goal. It's less about me. It's more about him. With me working on a lot of the things that I'm working on, one of the things that I'm doing is closing down my eBay and my Poshmark store. Back a few years ago, and I cannot get into details, I had a situation happen that made me feel very uncertain about my employment. There were some things said and done that made me feel like I was at risk of losing my job, my livelihood, my income. And in a panic, I started trying all of these things that would help bring me income, and I was preparing for the day to be let go, or to be told I didn't have a job, or to find out that my health was not going to leave me in a position where I could do the job that I was doing anymore. My health was in a bad state. I had some things going on with me, and I didn't know how safe I was where I was working. So I first started grabbing onto the jewelry making, and then I started grabbing, I needed a place, a format to sell my jewelry. So then I opened up my Poshmark closet, and then I started yard selling, and then I found a wholesale place to buy wholesale and then flip that, and been doing Facebook Marketplace. But what I've done is I have filled every minute of my day with something that needs to be done. I have filled every moment of my day with something, because if every moment of my day is busy, then people have got to look at me and they've got to see, wow, look at Melanie. Look at how hard she works. Because I have to find value in myself, and because I don't see a lot of value in myself, I reach for things and accomplishments to stand upon. And I recognize that about myself. But what I've done is I've lost my freedom. I have lost every moment of free time. So when I come on this channel and I tell you I don't have time to do this, I don't have time to do that, I can't sleep, it's because I have surrounded myself with all of the things that I need to get done in a day in order for me to feel like I'm an accomplished adult. But you know what? Without any of that, I'm accomplished. Without any of that, I have value. Without any of that, I have people who love me, people who support me, people who don't want me to change. They don't think I talk too much. They don't think I'm overly expressive. I've got to stop chasing the things and the people that I think that I need to approve of me so that I can approve of myself. I got to stop chasing people and chasing accomplishments to build some imaginary resume, because I just know that if I do this one thing and I do it really good, that people are going to finally appreciate me. They're going to finally love me. But it's my own anxiety. It's my own low self-esteem. It's my own lack of self-respect that has created this situation where I even care about someone who wouldn't spit on me if I was on fire. It's just one more thing for me to grab onto. My husband and I have talked a lot about how crazy my life has become over the last year, with the uncertainty with my health, the uncertainty with my dad, and the more anxiety I feel, the more projects I take on. I mean, I've taken on the backyard, and now I'm talking about painting the house, and now I'm talking about, landscaping this flower bed. And I mean, I've got a vacation coming up, and I already have a dental appointment scheduled. I have a vet appointment scheduled. I have a yard sale planned. I have, you know what I'm saying? It's like I feel guilty when there's nothing to do. I feel like I'm not valuable unless I can place value in my day. And this is something that I've got to work on. I've also taken up every minute of my day with a task related around reselling. I've never lost my passion for doing YouTube videos. This has been a great outlet for me. I've made some amazing friends, and I even have from time to time somebody like feed my ego and write me a letter and say, you've changed the way I feel about keto. Watching you inspires me to do better. I've started walking because of you. I can't believe your commitment to fitness. It's been a way for me to creatively express myself, be open and honest with you about who I am, and actually surprisingly amazed of how many of you take me just as I am. Just as I am. And that I'm enough. It's given me the confidence to say, you know what? I don't need all of these things, because Melanie is not all of these things. Melanie actually has nothing to do with all of these things that she's doing. They're just activities. They're not her value, and they don't equal her being enough. They don't equal her right to respect. Even if Melanie, myself, was doing absolutely zero with her life, I am enough, and I deserve respect. I have now rambled on for 12 minutes. If you're still here, thank you. I promise we'll get on to the keto video. All right, so just to let you know, I've let go of my Poshmark and eBay closet. I'm going to be downsizing and eliminating those. I'm going to use the time that I would do that to spend more time with my husband. I'm going to use the time that I was taking up with all of that stuff to do more meditation, relaxation, to do some fun things. I need some fun in my life. I need some distraction. I need some relaxation. But I need to be very mindful that I, in my quest to be good at something, in my quest to feel like I am productive, I am losing valuable time that I can never get back from the people I love. I can never get these days back. I can never get these hours back. Whew, that was a lot. That was a lot. I was going to get to the Sarah thing and what she recommended on the scale, but I think I'll save that for tomorrow's video. Or maybe the DEXA. So Sarah, yes, there was a huge difference when I stepped on the scale this morning. I'll talk to you about that, but probably during the DEXA video. But Kay Sarah, she's one of my subscribers. She asked me a specific question about my Euro scale, and I had forgotten all about the function of this. And anyway, so I did it this morning. I have a screenshot of before when it was in the athletic mode, and today when it's not. There was a big difference in my numbers. surprising difference in my numbers, but I'm going to compare both those screenshots to the results of the DEXA scan, and then I'll come up with the best way to set that scale to really gauge my progress and see how accurate that scale really is. Anyway, guys, I'm fasting today, looking at 16 to 18 hours fasted. This is just black coffee, no fluff. And when I say fluff, I mean creamers or sugars or anything. No sweeteners, no nothing. I was a little surprised this morning. The weight came down 0.2 pounds. Honestly, I expected to see it go up because number one, I have not gone number two. And number two, I had a lot of dairy yesterday. I had that yogurt yesterday. Now, with that being said, I may have been in store for an even bigger loss, but because of too much dairy, I only lost 0.2, right? I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just trying to say there are things that I do that can impact my weight. Today for lunch, it's going to be pretty simple because my husband never ate the steak I made him. So I have an 11-ounce New York strip to take for lunch. And yes, I will eat it cold. I am a true carnivore, baby. Anyway, let me pack my lunch. I've got just a couple minutes before work. If you're still here, thank you so much. These are important things that I need to let you know about me so you know where I'm at in my life. These are things that I just feel compelled to share because oftentimes someone like myself with these types of insecurities, anxieties, I feel very alone. I feel very alone. And a lot of times I am always very surprised when I do these types of videos and I get so much comments back. Oh my gosh, I feel exactly the same way. And I feel a little less alone in the world. And I want you to feel a little less alone in the world. But just know that I give it all to God. I give it all to God. But that does not mean that I'm going to have a pain-free life. It does not mean I'm going to have an anxiety-free life. It does not mean that I'm going to live this world without heartache, without pain, without suffering, grief and death of loved ones. That's what your community, that's what the people in your life are there for that kind of support. But man, I just can't even tell you enough how much God has changed my life. And I just wish that those people that I've hurt in my past, that I've hurt in my life before I found God, I wish they also could find some grace and forgiveness. But meanwhile, don't run uphill with a 5-gallon bucket of water for someone who wouldn't spit on you if you were on fire. I'm just saying. You have to love yourself enough to walk away from people like that. Anyway, let me get my lunch packed. I'm going to be late for work. Let me get my lunch packed, and I'll see you at lunch. All right, guys, it's lunchtime. I'm starving. It's 11 o'clock, breaking a 16-hour fast with this 11-ounce, I think it was 11 or 12-ounce New York strip. All right, guys, welcome to my commitment to fitness. Once again, I'm doing this before dinner time. I started getting really hungry around 3 o'clock. So I went ahead and made myself a fluffy coffee. I used about 5 or 6 drops of monk fruit sweetener. I used 3 measured tablespoons of Keto super creamer. And so it was only about 55 calories. Anyway, enough to break a fast. So now I'm just getting in some fitness before dinner. But one of the things I want to talk about on my commitment to fitness is the fact that I've kind of screwed up. In order for me to take the weight off that I've gained, and in order for me to get back on my weight loss macros, I have to adhere to a pretty strict set of macros and calorie level. And the problem is that I ate that 11-ounce New York strip. And so now I only have like 500 calories left for dinner. With that being said, I've had 0 carbohydrates today. So I could do a salad, maybe cut up a chicken breast or a couple hard-boiled eggs. I could do a couple cans of tuna fish and a salad and stay within my budget. But I really didn't plan well today at all. I did not plan. I don't even think I have any fresh lettuce. But I think my biggest concern at this point is being hungry later. I don't have a lot of fat grams left either. So it'll be interesting what I finally come up with in the end, but I will see you at dinner time. All right, guys, this is what I came up with. I have 2 cups of zoodles. I have 1 measured cup, which is 8 ounces of clams, baby clams, garlic, salt, pepper, a little Parmesan cheese on the top. That's 2 tablespoons measured, and a 1/4 cup of sliced cooked mushrooms. And so it's basically a keto version of linguine and clam sauce. And I did go over my calories a little bit, but I'll show you a screenshot of my macros next. All right, guys, let's talk macros. I think I did a good job considering I was worried about only having like 500 calories left for dinner. Those zoodles were amazing, and I love the zoodles with the clam sauce. It's really good, and it's really high in protein. You can make it low in fat. It was super delicious at 1,717 calories. And here are my steps for today. Guys, I seriously appreciate any of you that have made it this far. This is a longer video, and I know I talked about a lot of very probably personal things, and some of you may not understand why I would share something like this on such a public forum. It's because I have nothing to hide. I'm a human being, and we live in this world where everybody gets in front of the camera and acts like they're perfect, acts like, you know, their family has to have the perfect family and they have to have the perfect house, and, you know, every picture is of smiling, happy faces. But it's sad that in this same world there's a trend of people on TikTok that one of the trends is show a photo of yourself at your worst moment. And there are just pages and pages and pages and pages of people who talk about the day that they tried to kill themselves. And to look at their photograph, you know, all of the filters were on point. They were smiling. Everybody looked happy. Or there was a couple stories about, this is what I looked like the day that I found out I had cancer before I told my husband, right? You'd have never known that there was anything wrong with that lady. Her face lit up. It was the perfect photograph. She was so photogenic. You'd have never known from the outside looking in that something was wrong with her. So I think just like it's very important for me to be a role model, I think it's very important for me to be open about my body shaming that I do to myself, to be open about my body dysmorphia, to be open about my high anxiety, because people look at me and they think, oh my gosh, she's got it all together. No, I don't. I am a train wreck, right? I've just learned how to organize the train wreckness, right? I've learned how to coordinate the wreck. That comes from 50 years of being a train wreck. You learn how to conduct those things. You learn where to move the trains. But I don't want to be this person that you guys look at and think that I live this perfect life and that I have this perfect ambition and that I'm just flawless on my keto all the time. Yes, I try to be very good at keto. I try to be good at everything I do. It's just part of who I am. But perfect, I am not. Far from it. And I don't even think I'd be where I am now if I didn't have Jesus Christ in my heart. He drives a lot of that. Me wanting to be better, do better, say better, feel better, and love better. It's all about Jesus. Can I get a witness? Amen? Amen. Oh, I was going to break out in hymn, but, you know, I don't know. That would have been over the top. That would have been like earlier in the video when I was telling you there's people that don't like me because they were like, you're too dramatic, you're too theatrical for me. I should have been a movie star, shouldn't I? I should have been in the theater. I think I would have been absolutely delightful in film. I think I missed my calling. But the brokenness. Because you know what? Right now, as ugly as the brokenness looks, as scattered and unorganized as the pieces on the ground look, as many times as you might look at or listen to this video and go, man, she's a nutcase, right? There's somebody out there that is like, she is my spirit animal. There's somebody out there that by me sharing the ugliness and brokenness in my life, they feel less alone. And then they hopefully look at me and they say to themselves, self, if she can do it with all of that brokenness, then I can too. But not just that. Not just that. I'm not done yet. For those that have not found Christ, I want them to watch my journey and I want them to think, I want what she has. And I want to be ready. I want to be ready to say, I have Jesus. That's what I have. He is who I am. He is why I am. He is the big I am. And if you haven't found him yet, just call his name. He will answer and he will do miraculous things in your life. Because you were created for something so amazing, so special. And you know what? You know what sucks about being human? You could live this whole entire life on this planet and never know if you fulfilled your purpose, but I promise you have. You have. It's that one person that you touched their life that could have just, you know, the butterfly flutter, the butterfly effect. You affect one thing in life and it's like a domino. So I don't have the need to come on here every day and say, I'm perfect, and my keto's perfect, and everything I do is perfect, and everything I believe is perfect, because I am the first person to tell you just how faulty I am. I'm my worst critic. So before you could ever point out a fault, I guarantee you I've seen it first. Just saying. I beat you to it. All right, guys, that's all I've got. This is such a long video. I love you if you watched it all. I love you if you didn't watch it all. I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow with another daily vlog. Good night. Sleep tight, and don't let the bed bugs bite.